Hi guys, welcome to Swing Speed Saturdays, where you're going to get the best information to improve your club head speed and improve your distance. So I bet you've read just about everything and you've grown pretty skeptical of what is actually going to increase your club head speed, what's going to increase your distance. And today we're going to put it to the test. I got my flight scope out here and we're going to talk about shoulder turn, or what we call the power turn in the top speed golf system. And we're going to put some real yardage to how much shoulder turn matters. Let's go ahead and get started. So shoulder turn, huge when we're talking about distance. And the reason that shoulder turn matters and the power turn that we talk about in the top speed golf system, really getting loaded up, is our body creates momentum. So in the backswing, what we'd like to do is we'd like to have our hips turn at least 45 degrees. We'd like to have our shoulders turn at least 90, preferably a little past 90. That's going to get us really loaded up. Start down, now our body's going to have momentum letting it unwind, and our hands and arms can add to that momentum. So it's that base layer of momentum that gives you a good foundation for your speed and a good foundation for your power. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a really poor shoulder turn. So I'm going to go ahead and take a driver swing back, and I'm only going to swing back until my shoulders maybe turn 60, 70 degrees or so, and then I'm going to try to hit the ball absolutely as hard as I can from that position. And we'll take a look at our numbers on flight scope and we'll see what is my club head speed and what's my overall distance. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing 4 or 5 times, then we'll take a look at those numbers. All right, so on this one I'm gonna be really sure, very small shoulder turn, and I'm really gonna try to rip the ball from there. That feels tough. I don't know if I can get much speed out of that. It looks like I only got about 97 miles an hour of club head speed, so that's pretty low for me. Let me go ahead and try a few more. That's about as good as I'm gonna hit one doing that. 92 miles an hour. 89 miles an hour. I've hit a few shots and we're going to go ahead and look at this data. What I'm finding out here is my average club head speed was 92 miles an hour, which is quite a bit slower than what I would normally have. And I'm really trying to exaggerate here, getting a very small shoulder turn. So I'm kind of taking the extreme of what somebody would do if they're really struggling getting a shoulder turn at all. My total distance was about 237, and my carry distance, that's a lot of roll actually. I was hitting some kind of low burners. My carry distance was only 166. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the flight scope. I'm going to make several more swings, making a good full shoulder turn, and let's see how this distance improves. Okay, so there's 2 things that I want you to key in on when you're making a bigger shoulder turn. So I set up this ball. The very first thing is I want to make sure that I get that turn early. So as the first several feet, of my backswing, I want to make sure that I'm not using a lot of hands and arms to pick up this club, but I'm actually rotating my chest to pull the club back. So as my club gets about parallel with the ground, my shoulders are going to turn at least 45 degrees at this point. I want them to go even a little bit more than that if at all possible. Now from here, I want you to imagine your shirt buttons are turning away from the target. This is one thing that people tend to struggle with, is they get really quick, they pick the club up with the arms, the shoulders don't turn. I want to make sure I move the shoulders first, and then I get really comfortable taking my shirt buttons here and rotating them to where not only are they pointing back, but even a little farther to the right, and I'm turning completely away from the target as I'm doing that. That's going to allow me to load up, and it's going to give me a lot more momentum coming down. So now I'm going to hit about 4 or 5 shots, and we'll see how this really bumps up my swing speed. That was 317. Club speed was 112 is all. .311. All right, so there, even though I didn't make some of my better swings, I didn't catch all those dead solid, I did try to make a good full turn, and we can see my numbers really bumped up. So here, my average club head speed was 112. That's pretty close to being right around the tour average. So my swing speed earlier, if I don't remember correctly, was around 90 or so, 92. So I almost picked up 20 miles an hour club head speed. That's huge. That's upwards of 50 or 60 yards in maximum distance. And we'll see that my total distance here on average was 303. So again, I hit a couple of those that weren't the best. I think my longest one was 317, but definitely picked up huge amounts of yards there and hit it a lot better. So that just shows you just how much club head speed comes from making a good full turn coming back, and the power turn, just like we talk about in our top speed system. So when you go out and practice, focus in on those two key areas. Number one, I want to go nice and slow in the takeaway, get those shoulders to turn early, at least 45 degrees as you're about halfway back. And then number two, as I'm continuing back, I want my shirt buttons to turn away from the target. So I got to get comfortable turning completely away from the target, and that's going to allow me to load up, create that momentum starting down, and really boost those yardage. So good luck to you guys. Work on those two keys. I'll see y'all soon. All right, so we made a bigger shoulder turn. We're hitting it farther, but one of the biggest things that you need to do to create some speed is we got to have some lag. Without creating a lot of lag in the downswing and letting that go, we're really going to struggle with speed. I have a great video that's going to pop up in a second. It's a preview of a full lag video. It talks about the #1 lag mistake that I see golfers making. So go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen or down below in the description. You'll be able to see that full video free of charge, plus 5 videos in our Top Speed Golf system that are really going to introduce you to all of our key motions in the system, all 5 pieces. And you get that free of charge too. Also, if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very soon. See you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.